Okay, so when you factor, okay, what you say to yourself is this. What two things multiplied give me positive 6, but added give me negative 5. And so what's the answer to that? Okay, x minus 3 and x minus 2 is right. Very good. All right, there's the answer to that. Once again, this, you learned all this first semester. This is old stuff for you guys. Okay, look at the second one. What two things multiplied give you 2, added give you 3? 2 and 1. So it's going to be what? X plus 2 and x plus 1 is correct. Okay, everybody good with that? Okay, let's look at the third one. What two things multiplied give me negative 8, added give me positive 2? Okay, so what's the answer going to be?
X plus 4 and x minus 2.
Okay, x plus 4 and x minus 2 is correct. So there's those. Okay, so you have to multiply 6 times 3, which is 18. And then you say to yourself, what two things multiply 18 and to give me 11?
9 and 2.
9 and 2, that's good. Then what you were taught to do is this. You put down 2 sets of brackets. Okay? Where does this one go?
First one and the first one.
The first one and the first one. And where does this one go? The last one and the last one, right? Okay, now tell me about your split. Is it going to be 9 and 2 or 2 and 9? 9 and 2. So plus 9x and 2x. Okay, now you say to yourself, what's the common factor? 3x. When I take 3x out of this, what am I left with? 2x. When I take 3x out of this, what am I left with? 3. What's the common factor? Oh, there is something. It's a 1. It's a 1. You take a 1 out. When I take 1 out of this, what am I left with? And when I take 1 out of this, what am I left with? There you go. Okay, now do these match up? So you know you're going to get the right answer. So what are you going to write down?
3x plus 1.
Okay, 3, all right, so 3x plus 1 and
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3. You got it. That's it. Because,
It's a
okay, all right, so here, okay, now, what's my common factor?
7x
7x. Take 7x out. What are you left with here? 5x. What are you left with here? Plus 1. Good. Okay, what's my common factor here? All right, very good. Remember, you always got to take out the lead negative. So negative 2. Okay, what are you left with here? 5x. What are you left with here? Plus 1. Okay, very good. That's right. Okay. Okay, all right, so now, what's your answer going to be? 5x plus 1, the common one, and then what? 7x minus 2. Is it beautiful? Okay, you guys all got it. All right, so we want to simplify this rational expression. All right, so tell me this. Can you factor the top? Yeah, what is the factor? Okay, so x plus 2 and x plus 1. Very good. Okay, now look at the bottom one. Can you factor the bottom? Yes, you can. What is it? X minus 3, x plus 2. Okay, that's right. Okay, so now you factored it, right? Okay, now listen carefully. Listen carefully. Now you say to yourself, is there one part that is exactly the same as another part? X plus 2s are exactly the same. So what you do is this. If this and this are exactly the same, you can cancel them out like this. Okay, they cancel, right? Okay, now, the answer is what's left over? X plus 1, okay, over x minus 3 is right. And there's your answer right there. All right, here's the next one then. All right, so look at the one on the top. Can you factor the one on the top?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it factor? Okay, x minus 4 and x plus 2. I heard that. That was good. Okay, now look at the one on the bottom. Can you factor the one on the bottom? Okay, what is that? X plus 4 and x plus 3. Very good. That's right. Okay, now take a look at this. Is there anything that's exactly the same? Okay, so no? You're sure now? It's no. Okay. All right, you're right. There isn't anything exactly the same. Okay, you sure this x minus 4 is not the same as x plus 4? You're right, it's not, okay? In fact, somebody last period said this, they said, no, because look, one is female and one is male, is what they said. So they said they can't cancel each other out, okay, that's what they said. And I said, oh, that's cute, I'll remember that, okay? So you're right, they can't cancel out, right? Now let me ask you this, so this would be your answer, right? This would be your answer. There's nothing to cancel. However, let me ask you this, if it looked like this, then can you cancel? Yeah, then you could have done this, and this would have been the answer like this, right? Okay, you understand? All right, here we go. All right, can you factor the one on the top? Okay, what is it? Okay, x plus 3 and x plus 2, or x plus 2, x plus 3 is right. Okay, look at the one on the bottom. Can you factor the one on the bottom? No, because it's a monomial. Mono meaning 1. No, it's just like that, okay? Okay, now let me ask you this. Can you cancel anything? Are you sure about this? You're sure? Look at this. Look, there's an x here, an x here, and an x here. Can you cancel these x's? Can you cancel these x's? Yes or no? So yes, you can? Oh, well, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy away, and this guy away, like that, right? Okay? All right, now let me tell you something. You can't do that. You can't do that. All right, no, that's a common mistake. You cannot do that. Okay, now let me tell you, we have a name for this. This is what we call, murder. Okay? Now, why is it called murder? Well, look, now think about what's happening here. This is a whole person, right? Okay? X, okay, plus 3. You know what you just did? You went up to this whole person, x plus 3, and you took, and boom, and you just whacked this head off like that. You just took his head off. It's like, holy cow, you just murdered the guy. Okay? Okay, or it is. But this is how most students learn it this way. And same thing here. Okay? Now, so you can't do that, okay? It's not like, you guys get off this zombie stuff, something like, oh, come to the devil, right? Okay, but you can't do that, right? You gotta keep the whole person like the whole person. You can only cancel the whole person, not part of the person.
Is the bottom of
Okay. The bottom is a person, right? But it's like one person. It's not that they have a head and a tail. It just has one body, right, so to speak. Okay. Okay. So you can't do that. So what's the answer? The answer is okay. It is what. Wait, hold on. Let's rewind here a second. It is what it is. Right. Exactly. Okay. That is the answer. Then, okay. So everybody good there. All right. So let's look at this. Can you factor 8x to the 5th? No, you can't. That's a mono. 1. Okay. Let me ask you this. Can you factor 4x cubed plus x squared? Very good. There's that common. That's good. And people don't see this today. Oh my gosh, it has a common factor of x squared. So you can take out an x squared, and then what's left over? 4x and then plus 1. Very good. Excellent. Okay, now take a look at this. Is there anything you can cancel?
Can you cancel?
Okay, well, that's the question. You really not. Okay, can you cancel the 4x plus 1 with anything?
No.
There's nobody exactly like him, right? No. Okay, but look at this. This guy has 2 x's. This guy has 5 x's. Can you do some canceling there?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Right. You learned that earlier in the year. So look, you say to yourself this. Look, these 2 x's go away from the 5 and make them how many x's? 3. So then what's the final answer?
8x cubed.
8x cubed.
4x plus 1.
4x plus 1. You got it. There's the answer right there. Good job. You got it. Okay, so look at this first one now. We want to multiply and reduce this. So, can you factor the upper left one? Okay, what is it? 3x, and then what? 1 minus x is right. Good job. Okay. Okay. Now look at the upper right one. Can you factor that? Okay. Very good. So it's x plus 5 and x minus 4. Right. Very good. That's right. Oh, okay. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. All right. Now look at the lower right one. Can you factor that? That's right. It's mono. Mono. You can't factor. Okay. Look at the lower left one. Can you factor that? Okay. So what's that? X Okay, x plus 5 and x negative 1, is that it? Very good, it's right. Okay, so pretty good so far. Okay, now you're going to look at this and say, is there anything that I can cancel? All right, and before we start now, to cancel, remember, one has to be on the bottom, one has to be on the top, either directly on top or diagonally on top, right? Okay, so x plus 5 and x plus 5 and x plus 5. Okay, agreed. Okay, so let's do that. X plus 5 and x plus 5 cancel. Is there anything else you can cancel? The 3x's. The 3x and the 3x cancels. Is there anything else that you can cancel? Okay, so is there anything else that's exactly the same? No. Wait, no, we have a yes. No, okay. Okay. Well, alright, so so that's time to write down the answer, right? It's time to write down the answer. Okay, so remember you multiply top by top and bottom by bottom. So what are you going to write down on the top? 1 minus x and x minus 4 times x minus 4. And what are you going to write down on the bottom? X minus 1. Okay, there you go. Alright, so here comes the thing. Once upon a time, Destiny, there was this beautiful, gorgeous model, okay, named X minus 1, right? Oh my gosh, it's like all the guys is like, oh baby, X minus 1. And all the girls go like, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous, oh my gosh. So one day, there was this lady by the name of 1 minus X, who comes in to the famous, okay, cosmetologist, right? Okay, named 1 minus X, okay? And she comes in and says, oh, doctor, I'm so horrible, I'm so embarrassed to look at myself, and he says, well, yes, okay. What is it, okay, what do you want? Can you make me, you're the famous plastic surgeon, can you make me look like X minus 1? And he looks at her and says, you know what? I can do this. I can make you look like X minus 1. You can? Are you sure? I'm so grotesque. No, I can do this. Okay, now watch. Okay, here's how you make her look like X minus 1. Watch what's going to happen. Here's 1 minus X, right? I'm going to take out of 1 minus X this, negative 1. Now, when I take negative 1 out of negative X, what does it become? Positive X. When I take a negative 1 out of a positive 1, what am I left with? A negative 1. Suddenly, it becomes X minus 1. Okay, now look what I got. I have this, X minus 4, and I've got what's on the bottom, X minus 1. And suddenly, oh my gosh, I can cancel something else. What can I cancel? X minus 1s. This is probably one of the more difficult parts of this, is to be able to see these. Okay, so now what do I have for my final answer? Negative 1, right, times X minus 4. And there's the final answer right there. I got it. So all right, so here we go. I'm going to put a 1 on the bottom of the second one right there. Okay? Okay, now this is simple. Can you factor in the first one, the upper left one? No, it's X plus 2, right? Okay, can you factor this one right here? X squared plus 3x plus 9.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you can't factor that. It's x squared plus 3x plus 9. Okay, now can you factor 1? No, of course not. Okay, now x cubed minus 27, can you factor that? Yes. Alright, so you're right, it's a bad sandwich. Okay, so here we go. Let's make a bad sandwich. You gotta remember all of these, okay? Alright, so now what's a bad sandwich?
Meat, bread.
Okay, meat, bread, minus plus plus. Okay, now what's my single here? X. What's my single here? What's my single here? 3, that's right. Okay, so here we go. Single, single,
Square.
Single, square,
Yeah.